Our first Grand Hero battle of the year features NAESALA. He is a Raven Lagoose, and as such he's going to be our first free beast unit. NAESALA is a blue flying beast unit and comes with some pretty decent stats. He has 39 HP, 32 attack, 38 speed, 24 defense, and 29 resistance. At 38 base speed, NAESALA is only 1 point behind the fastest blue units in the game, so this dude is going to be a lot of fun. 32 attack will complement this high speed nicely, and NAESALA has the makings of a good offensive unit. Sadly, he comes with a slightly wonky defense with 24 defense, 29 resistance. Both aren't bad, but as a melee unit, generally you want more defense, since besides dragon enemies and close counter mages, you will primarily be facing physical damage. NAESALA will be able to take a hit or two, however, and with how common dragons are these days, the higher res stat isn't going to be a waste. As you might be able to tell from his weapon, NAESALA is the king of the Raven Lagoose. His beak grants a flat +3 speed, putting him at 41 base speed when equipped. He is gonna love this because its next effect states if NAESALA's speed is greater than his foe's speed, deal damage equal to 70% of the difference between those stats. This has a maximum of +7 damage, is considered true damage, and combos with the uncommon Phantom Speed Sacred Seal. This effect has been introduced before on Carla and Flying Nino's unique weapons. Essentially, all you need to remember is that if NAESALA outspeeds his opponent by 10 or more speed, he will get the maximum +7 damage. Any lower than 10 speed and the extra damage total will decrease until NAESALA no longer outspeeds his enemy. So speed is the name of the game for the King of Ravens, and that prime 41 base speed will be very helpful for getting the full damage boost. Besides this speed-based effect, Raven King Beak has the usual flying beast transformation traits. At the start of the turn, if NAESALA is adjacent to only beast or dragon allies, or if he is not adjacent to any allies, then he transforms. Otherwise, he reverts. If you don't fully understand this mechanic, don't worry, I will explain it in a bit more detail. Now for flying beast units, when transformed, they get +1 extra movement, which in total will be 3 movement spaces. Quite scary when they can fly over any terrain. They will also receive +2 attack. For reference, beast unique weapons have 14 might, so with the extra 2 attack, they are similar to the usual 16 might legendary melee weapons on other units. Returning to the rest of NAESALA's kit, he has Blazing Wind as his special. This is a good area of effect special with a very practical range. It also is affected by Raven King Beak, so any enemy caught in Blazing Wind will compare speed stats with NAESALA, and he adds bonus damage on top of Blazing Wind. He double or triple dips against the target he is actually attacking, so that potentially is 21 true damage if the enemy lives through Blazing Wind and his first basic attack. That's a pretty scary situation. NAESALA's A skill is Swift Sparrow. This skill grants +4 attack and speed when initiating, and is probably the skill that is on the most amount of 5-star exclusive units without being on a 4-star summonable unit. That streak comes to an end, although if you want the full version of the skill, you still have to promote NAESALA to 5 stars. As for Guard, this will be the first time it's available on 4-star rarity. Guard reduces the enemy's special charge rate by -1. This means enemies cannot get any special charges unless they counter Guard with a skill that increases special charge. Overall, while NAESALA will be many players' first beast unit, he does come with some good skills if you need them for inheriting. Since beast units are brand new and NAESALA is a free one, I want to quickly cover what beast transformation entails. Much like dragons, beast units transform when doing battle. However, they can transform while on the playable map, and this transformed state gives them extra abilities. First off, they transform if at the start of the turn, the unit is next to only other beast units or dragon units. They will also transform if not next to any ally units. If these conditions are not met at the start of each turn, then beast units will revert to their human forms. As mentioned, beast units gain bonuses when in the transformed state. For example, they can receive +2 attack. Flying beast units generally also seem to gain +1 extra movement. Keep this in mind when having to face them. What happens if a beast unit is attacked while in their humanoid form? Well, they are still able to counterattack like dragon units, however they won't get their extra bonuses. That's a basic rundown of the beast transformation mechanic. Essentially, the penalty for not being in the transformed state isn't very harsh. Sure, NAESALA won't get 3 movement, but it's not like he loses movement or loses a ton of stats. That being said, if you use a beast unit, it's in your best interest to keep them transformed at all times. Since beast units cannot transform while next to a regular human ally, you may want to build a team with certain allies to make transforming easier. Since NAESALA is a flying unit, he might want other flying allies to keep him company as they travel over the whole map. On the left are our 3 flying dragons. We have Fimo Grima, Myrrh, and Summer Young Tiki. They fill out colorless green and red spots on a team, so NAESALA can fill in without overlapping any of them. We also happen to have 3 flying beast units. Leanne, Rayson, and Tabarn come from the new beast unit banner, and this trio also could use a blue ally. If you field this full beast emblem team, you have a squad of 3 movement flyers backed by 2 dancers. I'm pretty sure they can cross the entire map with ease. If you are having trouble keeping NAESALA transformed, then pair him with these units to lessen the burden. I'm sure in the future this pool of options will eventually increase. For builds, we can first work off of NAESALA'S base kit. You can keep every skill, but sub out Blazing Wind if you want it in combat special. For assist skills, I'm always a big fan of reposition on flyers. Its utility is extremely potent when used on other flyers, so the main goal of this build will be to have a strong offense using Swift Sparrow to ensure Raven King Beak gets that +7 true damage, a simple Sacred Seal to help is attacking speed +2, and altogether this will get NAESALA 47 speed when initiating. Guard may seem a bit odd here, but I think can be useful to protect NAESALA when he makes his follow-up attacks. There is a lot of cooldown reduction in the game these days, so Guard really does come in handy. Unfortunately, NAESALA will probably dip under its HP threshold after his first battle. Now for C skills, I would always say it's a flexible slot, but I think the wave skills are great for flying beast units. With 3 movement, they will probably find themselves split from the team often, so being able to self-buff themselves is a great asset. I think any version of attack, speed, or defense will be handy if you can get your hands on them. If you want to keep NAESALA safe and act as your fast blue sweeper, then Desperation will most likely be a must. He has the speed to use it and will need it to avoid counterattacks in multiple fights. I think Swift Sparrow or Fury 3 works here, it's up to you. I'll also mention Phantom Speed if you really care about getting the full +7 extra damage from Raven King Beak. Do keep in mind that Phantom Speed will not help NAESALA get a follow-up attack. Personally, I don't think it's a necessity, although the +7 true damage does come in handy. Especially if you want to run Blazing Wind, remember that the Raven King Beak does add damage to the AoE specials. Now if you want some extra premium skills, I would also say the solo skills are a good fit for NAESALA and the other flying beast units. For the same reason as using wave skills, the solo skills are active when a unit is alone. Using NAESALA with non-flying beast allies may see him off on his own to keep his transformation going, as well as the fact that not many things can match 3 movement on a flyer. There are a ton of combinations to try out, limited by the fact that these skills are still quite rare. Since this is a solo build, you can use Aether to heal back up, and defensive skills like Even Defense Wave and Attack Smoke to reduce damage. Renewal can be used too, and Speed Smoke will allow NAESALA to help his team out or get him extra damage if he gets danced. NAESALA won't be able to tank whole teams without major help, but with his high mobility it should be easier to avoid sticky situations or dive the back line for an effective flank on a squishy target. Now I think the answer will be obvious for most players, but let's recap why you may want to 5-star NAESALA. He has an amazing base speed of 38 that gets boosted to 41 with his unique weapon. That is amazing for a free unit. His HP is okay and his res is actually good compared to most melee units. However, NAESALA will be mainly fighting other physical units when in melee combat. 24 defense isn't awful, but it means he will take meaningful damage in most fights. As for Raven King Beak, it's an amazing weapon. +7 extra true damage is great, and that can be 14 true damage if NAESALA doubles. With 41 starting speed and Swift Sparrow, NAESALA will be able to easily get at least some bonus damage. He will be a good offensive unit. As for Guard, it's decent in one-off battles against dangerous special reliant foes, but it can be replaced if you like. I know area of effect specials aren't super commonplace yet, but they do synergize with Raven King Beak. Even though the cooldown is a bit high, give it a test before switching it out. Since beast units are new and NAESALA is a free one, I think he should be a very obvious 5-star candidate. If you didn't get any of the new beast units from the banner, then here's your chance to try them out and see if you want more. In terms of fast flying blue units who can deal physical damage, well, there's a whole list of good lancers, but NAESALA can stand out from the crowd when he gets his 3 movement while transformed. Like I mentioned, the penalty for being in human form isn't going to cripple beast units, however, it's to your advantage to keep them transformed throughout a whole battle. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope it helped. NAESALA is an absolute treat in terms of a free unit, and you'll be able to get more copies with Heroic Grails in the future. I think he is a lot of fun to use, and I do enjoy just how ridiculous 3 movement on a flyer can be. I think pairing NAESALA with either of the Heron siblings will be very strong because they can keep up with his increased movement. We don't have cavalry dancers yet, so Rayson or Leanne are the only ones who can follow NAESALA if he moves 3 spaces in one direction. So far, beast units are looking strong, and I think NAESALA is a great unit to get. Have fun trying him out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
identity.